somebody good.
We're over there.
The lineman's over.
And that's hard.
He does crap.
I don't know about exercises, but it's like, you know.
Her house.
I don't want to travel by myself.
It just felt easier on your body.
Hey, I've been
You slept a little bit in the chair. I said, no, you don't have two. I've got the same kind of bed.
Yeah, totally.
Try to negotiate right now with them or divide and walk on the have to want electric, so a lot of ways right on top of it too. All my nieces.
I remember you were pretty self-sufficient. You set out for yourself.
I'll try to remember.
She talked about having a bathroom.
Marie Gregory, yeah, I can.
Really?
She should have done master.
Okay. You remember about her?
We went through
Sorry about that. No, I just kind of figured I'd piss you off somehow. Okay, Travis said that I know that.
Yeah, I want to go on.
I got a text. I know this year's But I think next week it'll be early enough, 6 o'clock at the light will be
I'll be
It wasn't French, French was somewhere else. Jackson. I think so.
Whatever it was.
Oh, we're gonna make life easier. Readers moving. Readers moving.
Oh, well, thanks. That's one of them already started.
And it's a nice place. I took her around and they had
Oh, how wonderful. My favorite life. Only an hour.
Yeah, but I'm still friends. I mean, it's still I know what's going on.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, I'm Rabbi Sheva Pell. I'm interim rabbi here at Cabby this year. And the year has flown. Somebody was saying that to me. I can't believe March is tomorrow. How'd that happen? We're going to begin this evening with the singing of Oziv Zimrat Yah from our Song at the Sea, page 647 in your Mishkan Tefillah prayer book.
The meaning of the words: God is my strength and my song, and shall be my liberation.
Shabbat Shalom. We are a diverse community that encompasses a range of backgrounds and experiences. Welcome to all those who are joining us virtually. We are using Mishkan Tefillah, which looks like this. As you come in from the back, they are in the bookcases at the back. When I invite you to stand this evening, please do so as you are comfortable and able to do so. And once you stand up, if you find the need to be seated for whatever reason, please feel free to be seated. Thank you to our musician this evening, Sandy Barrenter, but I'm willing to bet there'll be a couple more people up here joining her to sing, because that's how we roll at Cabby. I would like to remind you to please turn off your cell phones and other technological devices. If it has a battery and it makes a sound, take a quick look and make sure that it is set the way that you would like it to be set. Okay, so just take a quick look. If it makes a sound, if it has a battery, here you go. This is the part of the service where I always invite you to set an intention for Shabbat with 3 deep breaths. First, I'm going to invite you to get yourself ready physically, and that includes uncrossing your legs and putting your feet flat on the floor, includes uncrossing your arms, it includes sitting up straight in your seat. And once we get to the 3 deep breaths part, it could even include closing your eyes, but only as you are comfortable in doing any of that. 3 is the number of intention, and when you take those 3 deep breaths, you are going to set your intention for this Shabbat. It could be putting down the burdens, the lists, the alarms, the timers, the reminders, the emails, the expectations. It could mean that you are taking a welcome pause in the work that you've been doing and gearing yourself up to be able to continue the work in the coming week. And it could be encountering the holiness of Shabbat. So I invite you now, if you are going to close your eyes, to do so and to take 3 deep breaths. We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer. Page 134, and this is the second half of Psalm 98. Zamru l'Adonai bechinor, bekol zimra, bechatzatzrot, bekol shofar, hariu lifnei hamelech Adonai, iram hayam lo, tevel veyoshveva. Page 138, we continue with Lecha Dodi, beautiful poem written by taking parts from the Tanakh, from Hebrew scriptures, and weaving them together with other material, beginning page 138.
Lecha
Please be seated at the bottom of page 143. And so we understand that ordinary people are messengers of the Most High. They go about their tasks in holy anonymity, often even unknown to themselves. Yet if they had not been there, if they had not said what they said or did what they did, it would not be the way it is now. We would not be the way we are now. Never forget that you too yourself may be a messenger, perhaps even one whose errand extends over several lifetimes. We continue on page 144 with the Reader's Kaddish, Chavsi Kaddish. Yikra v'yitkadash shemei Rabba ve'alma divra chirutei mi'amlim ma'utei berhayechom yomechom u'chayetechom beit Yisrael Barah u'yisma'am karim ve'yimeru amen Yehei Shnei Rabba V'Gora Ve'olam Me'almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal Shemei D'Kudsha B'richu Le'ela Mikol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechem Ata Damirat Ne'alma V'yimeru. Please rise as we continue on page 146 with the Baruch Hu.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared?
In the middle of page 148. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night, and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tsebaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari Baravim. Page 150. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavatcha, al tasir mimenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Page 152, please rise for the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad.
Please be seated. We continue on the middle of page 157, responsively by paragraph. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory, may earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai, we bound ourselves to your way, inspired by prophets and instructed by sages. Time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work the day when nations will be one and peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Page 158, Mi Chamocha.
Thanks, Betsy.
Mi
Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael. Page 160. Page 162 at the bottom of the page. Those who keep Shabbat by calling it a delight will rejoice in your realm. The people that hallow Shabbat will delight in your goodness. For being pleased with the seventh day, you hallowed it as the most precious of days, drawing our attention to the work of creation. We continue with the Amidah, the prayer said while standing, on page 164 and on even number pages after that. I invite all who are comfortable in doing so to please rise. We continue individually through page 182. We offer thanks now for all the gifts and blessings that we enjoy for our celebrations and simchas. I'd like to invite anyone in the congregation who is celebrating or who has something they are especially grateful for to share their joy and thanksgiving with our community. Yes?
I went to get some housing
And there is a person from the synagogue, they have been around for 5 or 10 years, and they were the people in front of me applying for the same apartment. It was really wonderful to see them again. We got to hug and talk.
Sounds lovely to encounter people where you least expect them.
Yes, and they made me my new neighbors, even better. They
Even better.
Porsche.
Even better. Okay. Yes.
I'm grateful that I get to spend this weekend with my grandma.
I bet she can say the same about you. That's a wonderful thing to be grateful for. Fantastic.
Grateful for the sun.
You're grateful for the sun. Yeah, I've seen everybody's mood lift even just a tad,
Yeah.
because it's been so beautiful this week.
And one other thing, after we lived in our house for, since '99, and once or twice as a part of the trip, we put a car in the garage. And this week, for the first time, we actually have a car in the garage.
Okay, car in the garage. I think there are many of us who understand the degree of difficulty there.
I swear, it's been at least 25.
Trust me, you're not the only one for whom that's true. Anyone else that would like to share? Okay. And for all these things, Eternal One, we say, Modim anachnu lach. We give thanks to you, source of all. May we go from strength to strength. And may we always offer our abundant thanks for your many blessings along the way. And let us say, Amen. So we think of those who are ailing or in care at this time, and we ask for names of congregants and friends who are in need of healing.
Andrea Leeds. My daughter Elizabeth, Karen Pelkey. Susan Freeman. Jane Donovan.
Cameron Sorensen.
Martin Franklin and Richard Cordes.
Sonny and Ivan Sedelnikov, Steve Berencher, and Marcia Berencher.
Charlie Milch.
Miriam Boteda.
I invite those who are joining us virtually to say the names out loud now of those that they are keeping in mind for healing. To those names, I add Simon Rosenblatt, Sheila McLean, Ginger Schulman, Harav Elkachana Bat Leah, Harav Ariel Yehudit Bat Aviva. The prayer that we sing for those who are in need of healing is found on the middle of page 371 in your prayer book. Maya Lynn is quoted as saying, "A lot of my works deal with a passage, which is about time. I don't see anything that I do as a static object in space. It has to exist as a journey in time." Maya Lin is the woman who's the designer of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. And if we think about the space that she created for people to gather, remember, and mourn, it is possible to see how it works in a journey as a journey in time. From the names of the first casualties in 1959 to the names of the last casualties in 1975. But I think that Lynn's statement about her work not being static, but a journey in time, is a good description of other places, including sacred places. We acknowledge that physical places represent a journey in time when we say things like, "You can't go home again," or when we visit a place that we haven't been for years and it looks different to us. The place has changed through time. We have changed through time. When we stand in any place for the first time or for the 1,000th time, we can reflect on the journey that it represents if we are paying attention. It might be the journey that we can only see after we have reached a destination, such as the journey to adulthood that becomes clearer when we revisit places from our childhood. The places in our lives might never change their location, but they are still about a journey through time. Parashat Terumah, this week's Torah portion, is all about journey and place as it describes the construction of the portable wilderness tabernacle, the Mishkan. We read about the materials, the furnishings, the color scheme, the construction. Everything is designed to be beautiful and functional, sacred and portable. The Mishkan is both designed for the journey through the wilderness, and it represents a journey in time. Andrea L. Weiss, in the Torah, a Women's Commentary, notes that journey is seen in the very name of the structure. The word Mishkan, she says, comes from the root Shin Kof Nun, which allows for the mobility inherent in the concept of a tent shrine. The noun conveys the idea of a dwelling place and is not simply a synonym for tent. The English word tabernacle, which derives from the Latin, refers only to this wilderness shrine, whereas Mishkan is a more general term. When it refers to a structure occupied by human beings, it is translated as dwelling, abode, home. The tabernacle is conceived of as a place on earth in which God will be readily accessible and from which God's protective power will emanate. Timing is also important. According to the modern commentator on the Torah, Umberto Cassuto, the journey represented by the Mishkan starts at the revelation at Mount Sinai. Just after receiving the Torah, being in the vicinity of Mount Sinai served to remind the Israelites of God's presence in their lives. But once they started to move away from that place, it began to seem like that link was broken without some tangible symbol that could come with them. The Mishkan is that tangible symbol of revelation and God's presence in their lives. I see another journey represented by the Mishkan, the journey to freedom, because the Israelites are now freed from servitude to Pharaoh and can use their freedom to serve God and to create a space that allows them to do just that. The Mishkan represents the journey from Egypt and the journey from Sinai to the Israelites. What journey do we see when we visit the places in our lives, particularly the sacred places? All our sacred places reflect relationship with each other. We come together each Shabbat, sitting in the places that we usually sit with our family, our friends, and yes, indeed, I can see where you usually sit and with whom. We also see our own individual journeys in our sacred places. When I invite folks to share their stories with me at a new congregation, it can be very rooted in sacred place. They tell me that they were confirmed there, married there, had their children's baby naming there, had their family member's funeral there, the moments that many of us share as we go through our lives. When I was a rabbi in Chicago, the building that had once been the home of the congregation had been sold to a church. And I had a congregant who was a Holocaust survivor in his 90s who went to church every Sunday because it was the sacred place that everybody's nodding their heads. It was the sacred place that he remembered being in when it was the synagogue. Because that was where he was comfortable, in that particular sacred space. There is one more sacred place to consider. One of the names of God is Makom, place. We read in the Midrash, Rav Huna said in the name of Rabbi Ami, why do we use place, Makom, as a nickname for God? Because God is the place of the world, and God's world is not God's place. This we know from the verse in Exodus, behold, there is a place by me. Thus the Holy One of Blessing is the place of the world, and God's world is not God's place. Rabbi Yitzchak said, it is written in Deuteronomy, the eternal God is a dwelling. But we don't know if the Holy One of Blessing is the dwelling of God's world, or if God's world is God's dwelling. We can deduce this from a verse in Psalms, eternal you are a refuge, that the Holy One of Blessing is the dwelling of God's world, and God's world is not God's dwelling. When we speak about sacred places, there is also the possible journey that each of us has in our relationship with Makom, God. Not all of us believe in God, but for those of us who do, there is a journey wrapped up in that relationship. Sometimes the stops in that journey correspond with the milestones of our lives. Sometimes we remember more mundane moments when our prayers or the service or the music or something we learn changes the way that we think about God. The shifts in our thinking about God, the changes in our relationship with God, are sometimes the hardest journeys to recognize. There is a reason that we speak of conversion to Judaism as a journey. Sacred places are invaluable in reminding us about God's place in our lives, because they automatically reflect a place where we might think about God. Our journeys may be different than the journeys of our ancestors in the wilderness, but just as they use sacred space to remember their journeys through time, we do as well, keeping in mind our connections with each other and with God. I invite you to take up your prayer books again and turn, please, to page 586, and those who are comfortable in doing so are invited to please rise as we begin to conclude the service. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teku l'yotzer reishit, shelo asanu kiboyei aratzon, velo asamanu mishpachot ha'adamah, shelo samachokenu kahem, vego haromeinu kechol hamonah, va'anachnu korim umishkachavim umodim lifnei melech hamoneh ha'achim hakadosh baruch hu. Page 591. The Ne'emar V'haya Adonai L'melech al kol ha'aretz Bayom ha'hu Bayom ha'hu Yireh Adonai echad U'shemo 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 Please be seated. At this time, we think of all those who have gone before us, those whom we keep close in our memories, those whose death is more recent, and those who died at this season in past years. We are in the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning for Carol Wonick and Adrian Elkin. We also recall Marion Holmes, Alan Salzberg, Linda Tell, Myrna Herman, Pam Heumann, Lee Edge, Harry Packer, Audrey Roberts Kling, Paul Frank, Karen Schneider, Max Garcia, Donna Dwiggins, Beverly Conley, who died in the past months. Are there those who are remembering somebody this week for yahrzeit? Yes?
Dorothy Dupree.
Okay.
Annette Guidry, Marie Guidry. Annette is very much alive and well. Thank God for her mother.
Okay. I invite those who are joining us virtually to please say the names of those that they are remembering at this time. I now invite all those who are mourning and those who are whose custom it is to do so to please rise for Kaddish, page 598. Yid Gadal, Yid Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, Ve'omad Yivrach Yirushay Yamlik Malchutay, V'chayachon Yamechon Chayei L'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agalah U'Bizman Kariv V'Imru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam U'mei Omayim, Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitramach V'yitaseh, V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shmei Kusha Parichu, Ve'elam Minko Birchata V'shirata, V'yishkachata V'nechamata, Ve'amiran Re'alma V'yimru, Amen. Yehei Shema Rabbah Min Shemai, V'chaim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'yimru, Amen. Oseh Shalom B'Ramav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel V'yimru, Amen. Please be seated. Is there anyone for whom this is your first time here at Cabby and you are willing to stand up and introduce yourself? This is not compulsory, but if there is anybody, it's your first time joining us for services and you're willing to introduce yourself, please stand up. Hi.
Hi, I'm Kathy Meyer. I'm visiting Boise.
Wonderful, welcome. Yes.
Hi, Adam Stair. I just moved here.
Oh, welcome to Boise. Great. Anyone else? Yes.
Keithis, I'm here from Australia.
Oh. Okay, welcome. Looks like we've got our share of visitors today. Things that we're looking forward to include there are services tomorrow morning. There is a class that's finishing up on Tuesday night. There is Purim is coming up in just a couple of weeks, and there will be a catered dinner the evening of Purim. And the best way to find out all of these things is to open your email and click on the links or log on to the Cabby website and take a look at the calendar. There's lots and lots of stuff going on, and you are invited to the things that you sign up for and find out about. Can't announce them from the Bima, sadly. Thank you again to all of our musicians, which include Sandy and Piper and Betsy and Dan, and did I miss anybody? No, I didn't. You guys make the music so wonderful. And we are closing with Adon Olam, page 625 in your prayer book.
Adon Olam. Adon Olam, Asher Olam, Keter and Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Ve'en Nasav, Ve'en Sakol, Asai Melech Shemot Nivra, Adon Olam, Ve'aparei, V'not HaKol, Le'adon Yimlok Nara, Adon Olam,
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
I only